Hello everybody. In this video we are going to look at how to use command line arguments. Now a command line, as you know, is the command prompt from where you can run your Java program. Now if you would like to pass some values to the program from the command line, then how to do that? That is what we are going to discuss. Now this you can also call it, or you can refer to this as this will be also known as passing arguments to the main function. Passing arguments to the main function. So if you have noticed, in the main function we have this public, static, void. We have already seen what each of these means. Main is the name of the function. Then you can see that this main function takes as argument an array of strings, and the name of this array is args. So when we are running a program and from the command line we give some strings or some arguments to the function, then we can use this array of strings to hold this input. Let us just run this program and see what it looks like, and then we will see what goes behind the scene. So let us run this program first. So we go to the command prompt and we compile this program. Test command line. So the program is compiled. Now how do we execute this? We run something like this: Java test command line. Now normally we would run the program like this. Now this is the command line. So from here I would like to give some input or some arguments to main. So let me give two numbers here, 2 and 3. These are separated by a space. So now let's see what happens when we run this. You'll see that output of the program is number of command line arguments is giving 2. So here we have given two values. These are the command line arguments. So the number, I'm getting this as 2. Now let's go to the program and see. So in our program, what we have done is the arguments that you have seen that we had given, the values 2 and 3, these has gone to the argument array of strings args. So it is the work of the Java interpreter to create an array of strings, and whatever you pass from the command line arguments will go to this array of strings, and args here would be a reference to it. So all these happens by these is taken care of by the Java interpreter when the main function is called. So now I have args, the string array of strings args, which holds the two arguments that we have passed, that is 2 and 3. And args is just like any other array that you have. So I have used here args.length to give me the number of elements of the array. So that's what I'm printing out here. Number of command line arguments is args, that is the array of strings, dot length. So dot length will give me the number of elements. And where are the values going to be stored? So if I have args, so args is my array. So I'll have elements like this: args 0, args 1. Okay, since this is 2 elements I'm passing from the command prompt, so args 0 will get the first value that I have entered, and this will get the second value. Args 1 will get the second value. But one thing to be noted is that args here is an array of strings. So even though I have passed integer values, it is actually going to be stored as your strings. So 2 and 3 would be stored as strings. So now I have the array args which contains, the first element contains 2 and the second element contains 3. Now, because I'm going to run this again, let us run this again and see now what happens. So command line, now instead of this I give 2, 3, 4. So number of command line arguments is 3. So number of as you can see here, let me run this again with 3 arguments. So it shows that the number of command line arguments is 3. So I have 2 which goes to args 0, 3 which goes to args 1, and 4 which goes to args 2. So now I have args 1 is 0 is 2, args 2 is our string 4. So these are all going and being stored in this array args. So if I want to access these, I have to access these through the array args. So let's see how we can use these. So here it is printing the number of elements. Now what I want to do, I just want to add the 2. Add 2 numbers, enter 2 numbers and add them. So I want to add them as integers, so I will take 2 integer variables. A is, now here what we will do is we will use something called integer dot parse int, okay, and args 0. So what I have done here, arg 0 will give me the first argument, first number that I have entered, but as I have said, it is entered as a, it enters this string as a this array as a string. So if I want to convert it into an integer a, I have to explicitly convert this string to an integer, and to do that I use this integer dot parse int. Okay, more explanation on this later. So in the same way, I will also have for the second one b, and then say I will just print the sum. Which is a plus b. So let's save this. So let's run this now and see. First I have to compile it because I made changes. Okay, alright, so I have just made a mistake here. Let me go back and correct it. What I have done is I have, instead of putting a plus here, concatenation sign, I have used this. Okay, I can just declare another variable a plus b, and I will print the value of c. Let's see how this works. So this is compiled now. Now let us run this Java test command line. Now I have to give the arguments from here. So I give 4 and 6. So number of command line arguments is 2 and the sum is 10. So I can give as many arguments as I want out here, and it will find the sum of the first 2. So if I run this with any number, it will find the sum of only the first 2, because I am using only the first 2 to in our program. So this is how you can use command line arguments in your program.